Imagine living in a country or region where all we see or experience is poverty. It is all too sad to say the least, yet many others for some reason tend to enjoy the horrors of poverty that their citizens must endure every day in their lives. The rest of the luckier ones tend to simply ignore the situations, as either they are not properly told about poverty or because they have entirely forgot the fact that where they live experiences poverty. Even worse because of COVID and climate change overall, and its devastating effects on world life. The amount of people living in poverty has increased significantly. But does this all occur naturally? Well, in most circumstances, especially in countries like Peru and Venezuela, where poverty, especially in the rural areas, are extremely commonplace. Now, based on the Sustainable Development Goals report of 2023, it says that if current trends continue, 575 million people would still be living in extreme poverty, and only one third of the countries would have halved their national poverty levels by 2030. Now, it may seem like progress, it is still not enough to rid all or at least most of the issues that the people are still experiencing to this day. Why not everyone in every country can come to an agreement for the situation to end? Why let people suffer? Why every day someone walks outside, there are others holding cardboard signs asking, need a job, need food, need money, need a place to live. Anything is a blessing. Remember, poverty according to UN standards are people who live their lives and make their ends meet for less than $2.15 USD per day. Again, according to the United Nations, COVID was put to blame as the factor that reversed progress in stopping poverty. The United Nations then continued to also state, even before the pandemic, the pace of poverty reduction was slowing, with extreme poverty falling from 10.8% in 2015 to 8.4% in 2019. The average annual reduction rate was 0.54 percentage points between 2015 and 2019, less than half of the 1.28 percentage point rate observed between 2000 and 2014. In 2020, the number of people living in extreme poverty rose to 724 million, surpassing the pre-pandemic projection by 90 million and reversing approximately 3 years of progress on poverty reduction. Anyways, in retrospect, it does make a lot of sense considering that the number of births, deaths, and unemployment have skyrocketed throughout those years too. And because of COVID during its peak, it is safe to say that the progress of reducing poverty has slowed between 2020 and 2021. Not only that, but the war in Ukraine in recent times has also contributed to poverty, as the cost of living has increased in that region too. All this also shows how important social protection was to the people in need. Even though there are a lot less deaths, there is still an increase in people being affected by them, which in turn contributes to poverty. According to the United Nations, between 2015 to 2021, 151 million people on average were affected by disasters each year globally. In terms of deaths, the United Nations stated, the global average annual number of deaths or missing persons per 100,000 population has steadily decreased worldwide, from 1.64 in the period of 2005 to 2015 to 0.86 in 2012 to 2021. Again, in terms of people being affected by disasters, the United Nations stated, the number of people affected by disasters per 100,000 population has increased from 1,198 during 2005 to 2015 to 2,113 in the 2012 to 2021 period, not including cases related to COVID. Now, my perspective whenever it comes to watching YouTube videos related to poverty and homelessness. I do understand that even some of the biggest content creators make videos about those living in poverty, not only to inform them about the situation, but to also get them to spread awareness and help the people in need. Like Mr. Beast, for example, he made videos about homelessness and talking and helping them. The difference is he actually helped them, and he actually made a good cause. I believe that he has done a good cause. The reason why people criticize him is not because of the way he looks, but it's because the criticizers themselves cannot do what Mr. Beast did. Help people. They say help. Those exact people say we should help others, but in reality, they actually don't help anyone. Pure selfishness, indeed. That's why they criticize Mr. Beast, because they don't know how to help, and Mr. Beast does. On the other side, there's this notorious vlogger who uses the image of poverty to exploit the locals. I'm specifically talking about the Nusir Yassin, aka Nas Daily on YouTube. Nas Daily is notable for making short 1-minute videos talking about traveling and meeting locals and their hidden talents in places along the world. The reason Nas Daily was under fire one time was because he allegedly mocked the Filipinos and their poverty situation, while at the same time also using them to capitalize the pride of their country. In the article New Arab, they stated, he has denied all accusations, calling his detractors malicious. What ignited the flurry of accusations directed at Yassin was the claim that Nas Academy, a branch of the vlogger's business, featuring online courses, would host sessions of the ancient Kalinga tattoo held by 104-year-old famed Filipino artist Apo Wangongoge. Gracia Palicas, a grandniece of Wangod and a tattoo artist herself, dismissed these claims in a post on a Facebook group, saying her grand aunt had never agreed to teach an online class. The controversy had only surfaced after Mabulu discussed her experiences and relations with Yassin back in 2019 during the Cacao Initiative project. Furthermore, Mabulu accused Yassin of mocking the Tagalog language as well as vocalizing syllabic phrases, calling it stupid, as well as calling the people in Mabulo's hometown poor. Mabulo also stated he did not care about making change or shedding light on genuine issues. We are not content to be exploited. We are not culture to be capitalized. We are not people to be romanticized, or poverty to set the scene for benevolent saviors. We are more than what the world thinks of us. Nas Daily in response said that Mabulu's initiative never made it into a video because she was personally profiting from the cacao plantations and the 200 other farmers working for them. In conclusion, it is incredibly sad and also very frustrating that even people like Nas Daily or Kim Jong-un choose instead ignore the vital parts of solving poverty and simply using them for their own personal gains. Going up to those experiencing poverty and simply just talking about them all day long will not help improve the situations. It would only worsen it if we decide to harass them in any way. Sufficient and the right kind of action must be taken to combat against this issue.